when the Tennessee Volunteers descend to the summit. Not a lot of teams escape with a win. The Vols a perfect 10-0 at home this season. We welcome you to the SEC on ESPN from Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville, Tennessee, for ESPNU Campus Connection Week as the 14th ranked Vols host number 23 Vanderbilt. With Kentucky's loss last night to South Carolina, it is now the Vanderbilt Commodores atop the SEC's Eastern Division. Tennessee 3-1 in SEC play. Welcome to Rocky Top. I'm Carter Blackburn with former Alabama coach Mark Gottfried. This one has all the makings. Two top 25 teams, intrastate rivals, and a very critical game in that SEC East.
There's no question. This one should be a dandy. You've got Vanderbilt, who's won 9 in a row, and they're playing with a tremendous amount of confidence. And Tennessee has been playing on a high level of emotion, beating Kansas in here, Ole Miss, Auburn, but they went on the road and stumbled at Georgia. We're going to find out if this Tennessee team is for real tonight.
Well, let's take a look at our Star Watch for tonight's matchup between the Vols and Commodores.
Well, first for Vanderbilt, A.J. Ogilvy. This guy's averaging 19 points a game in SEC games. He has been the difference maker for Kevin Stallings' team. And Scotty Hobson, he has been so consistent, Carter, in how he's played for Bruce Pearl's team. He has played at a high level as well.
And now take a look at the starting lineups. Joining A.J. Ogilvy in the lineup for number 23 Vanderbilt, it's Jermaine Beal, the senior, Brad Tinsley, sophomore, Jeffrey Taylor playing very well of late, and Andre Walker, redshirt sophomore. For the Tennessee Volunteers, it's Bobby Mays, J.B. Prince, Scotty Hobson, Kenny Hall, who has played a huge role in Tennessee's success of late, along with Wayne Chisholm. Vanderbilt Commodores coached by Kevin Stallings, now in his 11th season as head coach of the Vanderbilt Commodores, the 2007 SEC Coach of the Year. And for the Tennessee Volunteers, Bruce Pearl, and yes, the Orange Blazer is out. 17-3 in SEC play last couple of seasons. He wears it against the SEC foes, Florida, Kentucky, and now Vanderbilt. As we welcome you once again to ESPNU Campus Connection Week. Doug Shows, Jamie Lucky, Mark Whitehead ready to get us underway here at Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville. So, Coach Gottfried, what do you expect out of the Commodores and the Vols?
Well, again, this should be a very exciting game. Two top 25 teams. Both of these teams like to score in the 80s. This is not going to be a slow down, walk it up type of game. They're going to get up and down, get after it. They're going to have some fun tonight in Knoxville.
Tennessee's coming off its first SEC loss. That was Saturday at Georgia after the incredible run that Tennessee made, beating Kansas, starting 3-0 in SEC competition with 4 players away from the team. Tyler Smith dismissed for the year. 2 players back now, Cameron Tatum and Melvin Goins, both reinstated to the Tennessee basketball team. Vanderbilt
opens in zone.
Hall dunks it down with 5 seconds on the shot clock. It is the best start for Vanderbilt in the SEC since 1965-66.
Wow. And if you're Tennessee, the fact that Vanderbilt started the game in zone and you were able to go inside and get a basket, it's exactly what Bruce Pearl wanted to start the game.
Vols nearly get a turnover on the defensive end.
Tennessee has the ability to get deflections, steals, and they do it well.
Chisholm clears it after the miss from Beal. Vanderbilt has Beal lays it in.
Tennessee with no safety that time on a deflection and a turnover. They have to make sure they get somebody back, protect the basket.
Oh. Blocking foul underneath. It's on Ogilvy.
This may be one of those times in college basketball with the new rule. If the defender is under the basket, actually he was out in front of the basket right there, so that may not have applied. But this year in college basketball, if the help side defender, which A.J. Ogilvy was that time, if he is underneath the rim, that's an automatic block on the defender. I think that time he was actually outside of that area. Still ended up with a foul.
Yeah, secondary defender is what it says. But if you're a primary defender and you're underneath the basket,
you're in trouble.
You're out of position. So Hobson misses the free throw.
Tonight in this game, Carter, Vanderbilt has to do a good job of limiting their turnovers. Tennessee does such a good job of creating havoc with their deflections. They can just get steals at will. Vanderbilt knows they have to make sure they take care of the basketball. They also have to go inside. A.J. Ogilvy needs to be a factor, and Vanderbilt does a great job of getting to the foul line, so their ability to go inside tonight will be a big plus if Vanderbilt can get the ball around the rim.
Trouble catching it off the deflection for Ogilvy. Turnover number 1 for Vanderbilt.
Tennessee, on the other hand, Carter, they've got to be able to do a good job defending, which they have for the most part these last 7 or 8 games, but they've got to do it without fouling because Vanderbilt does such a good job of getting to the line. And Tennessee also, they've got to be opportunistic, just like they were when they create some turnovers, get deflections, turn them into fast breaks. That's when Tennessee plays its best basketball.
Taylor fouled on the way to the hoop. We'll see if it's on Chisholm or on Hall. It's on Wayne Chisholm, and that's his first.
Jeffrey Taylor has been a valuable player for Kevin Stallings' team. His ability to put the ball on the deck and go somewhere with it. Vanderbilt really is a team of 4 guards. When you look at Taylor, Walker, Tinsley, Beal, those guys all handle the ball. They can all pass. They can all shoot. They're really guards, although they're bigger like forwards. Tennessee's going to do a lot of switching tonight, Carter. They're going to try to switch on those guys. They don't really care who's guarding who. They won't switch off of Ogilvy, but they'll switch off the other 4 Vanderbilt players.
Taylor gets the free throws. He was huge in the comeback win over Auburn on Saturday for the 4-0 start for Vanderbilt. Hall airballs the mid-range J, sending Vanderbilt on the run.
Not a good shot by Kenny Hall.
Tinsley off a screen from Ogilvy. Good look to A.J. Ogilvy.
Wow, like a clinic on the pick and roll. Terrific pass. Nice roll by Ogilvy. Good catch. And good finish.
Mays in transition. Prince there for the follow.
That's where Tennessee is good. 94 feet. Bobby Mays pushing the ball with his speed and quickness. Tennessee able to turn that into a basket. 4
early points for J.P. Prince, who's always played well against Vanderbilt. Tinsley answers with a 3.
Good start by Vanderbilt on the road. They've struggled in this game here in the last couple years against Tennessee, so Kevin Stallings has to be pleased with Vanderbilt's start tonight.
In fact, Vanderbilt is 0-4 in this building against Bruce Pearl. So since Pearl has taken over at Tennessee, they've beaten Vanderbilt all 4 trips here. A block underneath. Count the bucket, says Doug Shows, as Prince dunks down the baseline.
J.P. Prince aggressively going to the rim. And on that play, believe it or not, twice here early, I do believe that time that the defender was underneath the basket. When we say secondary defender, we talked about that a minute ago. That's basically what we refer to in basketball as your help side defender. That defender that's not on the ball, that's coming from the weak side, he becomes a secondary defender. He cannot set up position right underneath the basket.
Prince misses the chance at the 3-point play, but 6 early points for J.P. Prince.
Great execution by Kevin Stallings' team. Set play.
Beal lays it in to make it 11-10.
Vanderbilt back in the zone. The intent here is to keep Tennessee from the dribble drive, the penetration, keep them on the perimeter, see if they can force Tennessee into some jump shots.
It's Vanderbilt 11, Tennessee 10. Shot clock winding down. Prince on the baseline, trapped, lost it. Vanderbilt basketball. So the Commodores turning up the defensive intensity. That's a pick and a roll. And Vanderbilt up 1 in the early going. Welcome back to Knoxville, Tennessee, ESPNU Campus Connection Week. A 1-point early lead for Vanderbilt on Tennessee. We're connecting you with the campuses that we get to cover all over the place, and it's been an awful lot of fun. And Darren Stoltzfus joins us now for ESPNU Campus Connection Week, and Darren is smack dab in the middle of the Tennessee student section. And Darren, to say the least, it's been an eventful month for Tennessee athletics, both basketball and football, and yet the Vol fans have kept the faith.
Well, you never know with the way the football coach situation went down. Lane Kiffin skipping out on town. We just came together, and everybody loves an underdog. Now we got one in football. We got one in basketball because we're not supposed to win without Tyler Smith. But everybody loves an underdog, and especially around here, everybody always loves UT and the Big Orange. So.
And Darren, I understand that you're going to be partying with Peyton Manning at the Super Bowl here in a couple of weeks.
Well, yes, I'll be down for the Pro Bowl and the Super Bowl. I'm really looking forward to it. Me and Peyton aren't that close yet. but you know, 5 minutes in the room with him, and we're going to be tight. Yeah,
well, we'll be checking in with Darren throughout the night in the middle of that Tennessee student section. And, yeah, it has been quite a volatile month for the Tennessee Volunteers with the off-the-court New Year's Eve incident for Bruce Pearl's basketball team. Lane Kiffin going to USC. Derek Dooley hired as the new football coach here at Tennessee. So now we get to focus on the game itself between Tennessee and Vanderbilt, and two top 25 teams.
Well, and one thing, too, we talked about is Vanderbilt's ability to get to the foul line. And that time, Brad Tinsley off the dribble drive, a little penetration, worked himself to the line. Vanderbilt finds a way throughout a 40-minute game to get to the line a lot. And they're a very good free throw shooting team. So again, Tennessee has to defend without fouling tonight.
Into Wayne Chisholm on the post. Festus Ezeli defending this time. Body on him, play on. Tennessee keeps it. Off of Goldborn.
Bruce Pearl has done such a magnificent job at Tennessee of re-energizing this basketball family, getting the intensity, the excitement. The recruiting is going to be terrific. He's got some nice players coming in next year as well.
Tried to go 6-on-5 that trip down the court, but Skylar McBee was sent back to the bench.
Not allowed to play 6-on-5.
By the way, I did ask Coach Pearl about the Blazer, and yes, there is more than one Blazer. So, shot clock winding down. Here's Woolridge, long two.
Vanderbilt, 2 possessions in a row, did a nice job of forcing Tennessee into a tough shot late in the possession.
Walker gets a tough 2.
Walker and Taylor, guys that play the 3 and the 4 for Vanderbilt, have been so good for Kevin Stallings' team during this 9-game winning streak.
Vanderbilt by 5. A Commodore team that's used to coming from behind. They've won 4 SEC games. They've been behind in 3 of those 4. Hall covered up defensively by Beal. Has to get rid of it. Shot clock winding down again. Tatum. Mays long 2.
Boy, excellent defense for Vanderbilt. Tough break on the rebound.
Off the foot of Woolridge. Hobson runs it down. Another chance for the Vols. So Vanderbilt does it defensively, but now they have to play almost a 3rd possession.
Defensively, Vanderbilt has been excellent. You got to finish it with the possession with the basketball.
Hobson blocked inside. Ezeli gets the block. Beal blocked on the other end.
I like the call. Doug Shaw's terrific call. Jermaine Beal pushes it so quickly and forces contact. Jermaine Beal is a senior. He's been through the wars in this league. He's seen it all. He understands Kevin Stallings' system. He's a quiet leader.
Asked Jermaine about, being in a rivalry game at this point, your senior year. You've played these guys twice a year. I mean, he says you know everybody. You know not only personally, you know the way they play, you know their weaknesses, deficiencies. Not about X's and O's. It's about just going out and playing at this point.
Vanderbilt goes right to the freshman on the perimeter, Jenkins. He doesn't have it. Patiently throws it inside.
Festus Ezeli gets his first two. Vanderbilt up by 7. An 8-0 run by the Commodores. Paul fouled by Ezeli after tough defense from Festus Ezeli. Well, Ray Mears, the coach at Tennessee from 1962 to 1977. The great run with Ernie and Bernie, and there's the orange blazer.
But we need Bruce Pearl in those plaid pants like Ray Mears had. I got to tell Bruce he's got to find some plaid pants.
Yeah, Bruce says he wanted to bring back that basketball tradition, but he says, quite frankly, I'm not sure if I could have pulled off the orange blazer every night. Some would say they're not sure if Bruce Pearl can pull off the orange blazer any night, but regardless, he got Ray Mears' blessing to wear it in the SEC East rivalry games a few times a year. Now, Bruce also points out that the orange and white striped warm-up pants that the Vols wear, says not a lot of people make enough mention of that. That's an old Tennessee basketball tradition as well. Old-fashioned statement in warm-ups. Ogilvy turns it over. Vols on the run. Hobson fouled. Nearly got the bucket.
Tennessee again, their ability to create a turnover, get a steal, and turn it into a fast break opportunity. Quick hands in the post. Cameron Taylor with the deflection. Scotty Hobson pushing it. That is Tennessee's strength. That is when they are at their best.
Foul's the first on John Jenkins, sending Scotty Hobson to the line, who has been critical for Tennessee during this run. I mean, you take away Tyler Smith, who's basically second best player on the team. You're down, at this point, still down one player without Brian Williams, but you needed guys to step up, and he certainly has.
Well, he has, and for Scotty Hobson, just about every line on the stat sheet is so good outside of his free throw shooting. He's just a 57% foul shooter. He shot it well from the three-point line. He shot it well inside. But that's one area of his game. He's leaving points for his team at the foul line.
A 41% three-point shooter, and yet, as Mark mentioned, just over 50% from the line. Shot clock winding down again for Tennessee. Vanderbilt has made it tough on the Vols. Tatum. And one. Count the bucket. Three-point play opportunity when we return on Campus Connection Week. Tennessee's cut it down to a 2-point game here against the Vanderbilt Commodores. ESPNU Campus Connection Week. Carter Blackburn with Mark Gottfried. No, we're not part of the Campus Connection. Darren Stoltzfus is our Campus Connection to the University of Tennessee.
Send the money, Mom.
Right there with the Rocky Top Rowdies, huh?
Let's go Vols.
Now tell us a little bit about the student section that you are in the midst of, Darren.
Well, this is the Rocky Top Rowdies section. This is where the rambunctious people come. And that's what I like to think of myself. I'm a rambunctious fellow. But we are the jumping crazy. When Bruce Pearl came to Tennessee, he actually said, get the chairs that are in the section out of here. We don't want them. We want the students standing. We want them yelling. And we've risen to the occasion. Now, for the big games, you'll see the student sections in 123, 124, 125, and 126. They will stand, and some of them rising up right now. But if you're going to get yelled at for standing up, that's not where I want to be. So I'm right here, right in the middle of this wonderful pitch.
And Darren, I like how you kept it up when you met Mark Gottfried for the first time today, the man who coached the Alabama team for 11 years. You immediately started on the Alabama-Tennessee rivalry.
Well, you just can't underestimate the Alabama-Tennessee rivalry when you come to these parts. Now, some of the younger students, it might be the Florida rivalry, but everybody hates Alabama. Come on.
Well, Darren, we'll be checking back in with you. Darren, one of these days, if he's not a professional announcer, he's going to make a great coordinating producer, because he pointed out that I mistakenly said that Bruce Pearl wears the blazer against Florida. In fact, it's reserved for Vanderbilt and Kentucky.
Here we go. Big Aussie, D up, Wayne. Atta boy, good tough D. Let's push it. Let's push it. Come on, Bobby. Give it to him. Give it to him. Stephen Pearl. Come on now. Good foul. Good foul.
Well, Mays fouls Jenkins in midcourt. Darren likes it. Oh, Mark, who do you give the early edge to in the first 9 minutes as far as implementing game plan?
Well, I like Vanderbilt. I think both teams have done a nice job. I like the fact that Vanderbilt defensively, when they're back and they get their defense set, they have held Tennessee 5 times under the 10 seconds left in the shot clock with their defensive possessions.
Jenkins hits a huge three, which he's done all year for Vanderbilt.
I'm going to jump out here and make a comment now. This guy, John Jenkins, we've not seen one like him since Chris Lofton. He's that kind of a shooter and can become one of the all-time greats in this conference as far as three-point shooting numbers.
Tatum can't answer with the 2 and a foul on the other end. So let's go back to that, Mark. I mean, Chris Lofton was an unbelievable three-point shooter, one of the best this league's ever seen.
Probably the best that this league has seen, and the numbers prove it. But Vanderbilt, with their young freshman, John Jenkins from Gallatin, Tennessee, he's come into this league. He's fearless. He can shoot it. Kevin Stallings is going to him. Comes right in the game, and they run a play for him. And again, he's not afraid to take a big shot. But John Jenkins, a name that you're going to hear a lot from in years to come here in the SEC.
Log on to Facebook today, search ESPNU and become a fan. Tonight's question, who is the best one-loss team in the country now that the Kentucky Wildcats have one loss last night to South Carolina? So that would include Kansas, Syracuse, BYU,
Villanova.
Mays floater right in the middle of the zone. His first 2.
Bruce Pearl needs Bobby Mays to play well. Tennessee is a lot better basketball team, and they're getting great play from the point guard, Bobby Mays.
So, Mark, who gets your vote as the best one-loss team in the country?
I'm still staying with Kentucky right now. I know last night they lost at South Carolina, a loss that did not surprise me. I think when you go on the road in this league or any league, those things happen, but BYU is a surprise team. Syracuse would probably be that second team to Kentucky in my book.
Now, South Carolina, a lot of people surprised. Okay, you're number 1, and people were ready to give Kentucky the national championship, but you were not surprised by what South Carolina did last night.
Well, number 1, they have Devin Downey. Number 2, it's hard to win on the road.
Mays fouled by Beal.
You know, we can go back a few years. Tubby Smith with Kentucky took a team to a 16-0 record, but it's rare. It is so hard. Kentucky's still a premier team in the country, but Devin Downey last night with 30 points. And of those 30, Carter, 6 or 8 of those at the end of the game were monumental as far as how difficult some of those shots were that he made.
Don DeVoe, the legendary coach, coming over to visit with you a little bit before the game. I thought he made a great point about the way that Devin Downey uses all surfaces on that glass to get his angles.
Low, high, corners, wide. He knows how to softly put it up there.
Falls by 1 as Beal misses the floater. Chisholm boards.
Not a shot Kevin Stallings wants. A little bit more patience from Vanderbilt. A little bit more execution.
Jenkins brings it back. Skip to Beal.
But Tennessee is well aware of where John Jenkins is.
They're getting out on the shooter. Walker finishes. Vanderbilt back on top. Commodores led this by 7 in the early going. Now we're back and forth with under 9 to go in the first.
I like Kevin Stallings' decision with his zone. Slow the pace down, eliminate some dribble penetration.
Hobson creates some space with the shot fake and finds Bobby Mays.
That's what Kevin Stallings wants, a possession like that against his zone defense. In Tennessee, that thing needs to still go inside.
Prince pokes it away from Jenkins. Tough D by J.P. Prince. Commodores get back on D, set up the zone. Mays to a cutting Prince. A princely 90 feet for J.P.
Tennessee has the ability to get deflections. Just take the ball sometimes. You'd be surprised how many times it just goes from the offensive possession right to the defense. They just take it right away. They've got long arms. They're quick. They anticipate. And they turn those steals into baskets.
Prince has 8 of Tennessee's 24. Foul on A.J. Ogilvy, drawn by Stephen Pearl. J.P. Prince and the Tennessee Volunteers get a steal on one end, and then J.P. finishes on the other. Tennessee by a point. Now Villanova, one of those one-loss teams. Lowell, another here in the SEC East now that Kentucky has a loss. Vanderbilt is still undefeated in the SEC, so they're tops in the SEC East as they take on the 14th ranked Tennessee Volunteers. It's Carter Blackburn with Mark Gottfried. Our embedded ESPNU Campus Connection reporter is Darren Stoltzfus. And he is with the Rocky Top Rowdies.
Go Tennessee!
Giving us a feel all night. Balls by one, working against the Vanderbilt. I was about to say zone, Mark, but I guess we've seen a change out of that timeout. Beal gets the steal.
Vanderbilt will play for a few minutes here. Nice shot by Beal without A.J. Ogilvy picking up his second foul right before the timeout on a call where he was trying to set a screen for his teammates. So it's important to watch and see how long he sits and how well Vanderbilt plays without Ogilvy.
Chisholm trapped in the corner, stepped on the baseline, Vanderbilt ball. Well, men's college basketball action continues tonight with the second game of our doubleheader. Texas Tech taking on the Texas Longhorns, now ranked number 6. 9 Eastern is coming up next. Here in Knoxville, Vanderbilt by 2.
He must not be able to hear me.
I heard Lowell. I need to send a shout out to him. He's hilarious.
Welcome back to Knoxville, Tennessee. Tennessee undefeated at home at Thompson Bowling Arena. Out of the timeout, shot clock winding down for the Vols. This is Kenny Hall. Traveled before the shot.
Nice call. Mark Whitehead on the call. Kenny Hall, the young freshman.
3 turnovers in a row by Tennessee. That is 7 in the game.
Vanderbilt starting their offense with some ball screens at the top. So many teams use the high ball screen.
Now defensively, Tennessee, you made mention of it earlier, switching on the ball screens. Explain that a little bit.
Well, I think Tennessee, with their athleticism and size, they've got a lot of equal size players. They have the ability to switch a lot. Now, they won't switch with their center. That's Chisholm or Hall, but as Vanderbilt runs their offense, you'll see a lot of switching by Tennessee.
Chisholm airballs the 3. Well, one of the big questions was how healthy is Wayne Chisholm in the knee? He was limited in action in the loss on Saturday at Georgia. Only 3 for 10 shooting, didn't play much of the second half. And he did not practice with the Tennessee Volunteers, including a very light shoot around today. He was just walking through telling us it's feeling better, it's feeling better. But the question is, how much better does that knee feel? Three-second violation. Gives it back to Tennessee.
That was about 6 seconds in the paint. You know, I think if you're Kevin Stallings right now on the road, 2-point lead, the pace of the game, even though Vandy likes to score in the 80s, they've been scoring a lot of points. I think you got to be comfortable that Tennessee really hasn't got the game where there's a lot of steals and fast breaks. There's been a few, but not a lot.
Mays bumps, earns a trip to the foul line. The foul's on Brad Tinsley. That is his first.
You know, one thing that Bruce Pearl won't mention is what a difference what a difference it makes not to have Tyler Smith. And having coached against Tyler Smith and watched this league and been involved in this league, Tyler Smith changes this team. And what most people don't see sometimes is the matchups. What it does, it forces different matchups. Wayne Chisholm would play the 5, and a lot of times now with Kenny Hall, when they play together, Kenny Hall and Chisholm. Chisholm now has to guard the opponent's 4-man, which is the player that Tyler Smith would have guarded. Offensively, things are different. So this is a different Tennessee basketball team. Now, they've been able to continue to win, but the question is, have they really been pulling the rabbit out of the hat, or are they a legitimate Eastern Division contender?
Or maybe there really is a rabbit in the hat. Vandy turns it over. Skylar McBee, one of the heroes of the win over top-ranked Kansas, steals it and brings it back. So even at 26 with 5 to go in the half. Into Chisholm, splits the double but can't finish. Commodores on the run. Walker to Beal in transition. Walker stick back. What a play by Andre Walker.
Wow, terrific play. Concentrating, made a 2-hand rebound. I like the shot by Beal in the break. He's on balance and under control. Vanderbilt's defense has been exceptional, forcing Tennessee to shoot shots late in the shot clock on numerous trips.
McBee with the shot clock winding down again, throws up that prayer. Woolridge gets it right back. Battle for this loose ball off of Azili. Tennessee keeps it.
When you watch Tennessee, you watch how many times they get deflections, steals. Close call on the out of bounds, but Tennessee's ability, when you have the basketball in your hands, you've got to protect it at all times. They do an amazing job of getting their hand in there and deflecting the ball away from the offensive player.
Hobson down the baseline. Woolridge misses a dunk. Beal brings it back, 3-on-2. Walker can't finish.
Walker wanted to foul instead of taking the ball strong to the rim and making sure there was some contact on that play.
Vandy by 2 at Tennessee. We'll check in with Lowell and the guys in the studio to find out what's coming up at the half when we return. Vanderbilt. Our headsets don't work. It's Vanderbilt leading Tennessee by 2. Sorry if we're having some technical difficulties here. We're trying to figure out our technical situation here at Thompson Bowling Arena, but we will continue on. It is Vanderbilt leading Tennessee by 2. 3 minutes, 41 seconds to go in the first half. And again, we apologize for any technical difficulties, but we're going to press on with the Commodores and the Tennessee Volunteers in a critical SEC matchup.
Hello.
So before the timeout, Wayne Chisholm went to the Tennessee bench, and he appeared, that was a couple plays before the timeout. So Wayne Chisholm is checked back into the game, and he gets bumped. It's on Festus Ezeli. That is his second.
Chisholm at the foul line, Carter, has been 18 for 18 in SEC games this year. Has not missed a foul shot. So hopefully we don't jinx him.
He is perfect from the foul line. Until Mark, isn't the way it works? Isn't that the way it works?
Shouldn't have mentioned it.
Well, again, we're pressing through some technical problems here, but we understand that you can hear us.
Vanderbilt will execute offense.
Until that turnover.
Well, again, we talked about it earlier. Vanderbilt's ability to play the game without turning the ball over. Obviously, that was an unforced error. Tennessee does such a good job of forcing turnovers, getting deflections. Certainly, if you're Kevin Stallings, you can't afford those type turnovers that are basically unforced.
Whistle away from the basketball. Offensive foul on Steve Chingang.
Vanderbilt is a physical basketball team. One thing Kevin Stallings has with this team, he's got length, he's got athleticism, and he's got a physical presence, and he can rotate his bigs in and out of the game.
Now explain that, Mark. 18 straight free throws. Wayne Chisholm had not missed in SEC play, and now back-to-back misses from the stripe.
Well, sometimes it's mental. You miss that first one, and you carry that into your next shot. Thinking about the one that you missed. Just needs to get back on track like he did there.
So Chisholm drops it down. Tennessee's gotten back to within one. Vanderbilt led this game by as many as 7 in the first half. And since then, it has been back and forth. Now, we have not seen the higher scoring game that we expected between these two teams, averaging 79. ESPNU Campus Connection Week continues on Thursday. Doubleheader matchup, St. John's Pitt at 7 Eastern, and the SEC on ESPN. Ole Miss versus Auburn at 9 Eastern. All part of Campus Connection Week on ESPNU and ESPNU HD Thursday. Chisholm yanks the rebound. That's 5 for Wayne Chisholm.
Vanderbilt does a nice job with their defensive transition, getting back, getting Tennessee stopped. From here on, Vanderbilt wants to make sure Tennessee scores over you, not around you.
Mays misses the tough two. Walker brings it back for Vanderbilt and finds Beal. Chingang there for the stick back.
And Andre Walker bringing the ball in the break. We talked about Vanderbilt basically playing with 4 guards. Walker has the ability to push it in the break.
Hobson triple.
He has been the answer for Bruce Pearl's team, Carter. This guy, Scotty Hobson, has played in all facets of the game exceptionally well these last 4 or 5 games.
9 in the first half for Scotty Hobson to lead all scorers, and his triple ties it at 30 with 2 to go in the first half. Chingang backing in on Chisholm, who backs off. Taylor now on the 4th chance for Vanderbilt.
Good offensive rebounding by Vanderbilt. Hanging in there, getting position. Again, we've talked about this 2 or 3 times. Vanderbilt's ability to find themselves in the foul line. They have shot a tremendous amount more free throws than their opponents, almost doubling the attempts. Matter of fact, they've almost made more than their opponents have attempted this season.
And even better in SEC competition. And sure enough, this is already the 14th foul shot of the first half by Vanderbilt. Tennessee has only 7.
And that, again, is the way Vanderbilt plays, the way they get the ball around the basket, the way they take it strong to the rim. This player right here, Jeffrey Taylor, has been a pleasant surprise for Kevin Stallings this year as a sophomore.
1-point lead for Vanderbilt. Hall through the double. Taylor yanks it down, and Vanderbilt has a chance to add to the 1-point lead.
Vanderbilt's defense, again, I think has been exceptional here in the first half.
Offensive foul called on Jeffrey Taylor, his second. That was a close one.
You know, those are tough calls to call for an official. Jeffrey Taylor on the move, J.P. Prince on the move, even though the defender wasn't set. The fact that he lowered his shoulder, lowered that right shoulder, and created the contact was why the call went against the offensive player.
Prince for three. J.P. Prince knocks down the triple. 11 first-half points for Prince.
Only his second three-point made basket on the season. He's a guy that drives it, more of a slasher, steps up, knocks down a big three.
Goldborn answers with an air ball. So Tennessee from down 7. 2-point edge right now after the hops and miss.
Vanderbilt. 4 seconds, 5 seconds difference on the shot clock. They want to execute offense and make sure they get a great shot as the half winds down. They will have to play defense. So Vanderbilt needs a basket offensively. Tennessee wants a stop and an opportunity to push it in the break.
Tough D on Jenkins. Goldborn can't get the miss. Last chance for Tennessee. Prince to Pearl. Pearl throws it in reverse. A lay-in to give Tennessee a 4-point lead at the break.
Well, the momentum for Tennessee going into the halftime is exactly what Bruce Pearl wants. How about this move? In the break, the concentration. Tennessee running to the locker room, on fire.
35-31, Tennessee on Vanderbilt at the break. Balls close on a 9-3 run. Now let's head to the studio and join Lowell Galindo, Adrian Branch for the Sports Center U halftime. Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN from Rocky Top, Knoxville, Tennessee, part of ESPNU Campus Connection Week. Tennessee 35-31 at the half on the Vanderbilt Commodores. I'm Carter Blackburn with former Alabama head coach Mark Gottfried. And, Coach, what stood out to you from that first half?
Well, I think a key point in the half was A.J. Ogilvy picking up that second foul. He went to the bench, and Vanderbilt struggled. For Tennessee, J.P. Prince has been the answer. He's 5 for 5 from the field. And for Tennessee, it's been somebody different every night that has stepped up and kind of kept them playing at a high level. That's something we need to watch here in the second half.
Let's take a look at the first half stats, and it will bear out that J.P. Prince had another outstanding half of basketball against the Vanderbilt Commodores. He's made a habit of that. 7 points for Jermaine Beal to lead Vanderbilt scores. Vanderbilt has trailed at the half 3 out of their 4 SEC wins. Remember, Vanderbilt is 4-0 in the SEC. In the second half, they have outscored their opponents by 41 in the 4 SEC games.
Keep in mind as well that Vanderbilt has scored 92, 89, I think 85 in 3 of their 4 games. So Vanderbilt really likes the pace a little bit more up and down. But I like the fact, again, starting the half, Vanderbilt goes right to A.J. Ogilvy. Kevin Stallings wants to get him started. Scotty Hobson picking up his 3rd foul. Bruce Pearl's going to let him play. He's got trust that he can play with 3 fouls.
Ogilvy only 3 points in 9 minutes because of that foul problems. He is averaging 19 points a game in the 4 SEC contests, and yet he is not getting his scoring tonight. Prince swatted out. They'll call it a goaltend. Counted for 2. So 13 now for J.P. Prince.
J.P. Prince has been aggressive going to the basket. A.J. Ogilvy took that one away right at the rim. Vanderbilt needs a good start here to this second half. The end of the first half went Tennessee's way. Vanderbilt needs a good start offensively where they're scoring points in the first few minutes here of the second half.
Taylor gets his first 2 of the second half, 5 in the game. Vanderbilt led this game by as many as 7 in the first half. Tennessee by 4 at the break. Hobson down the baseline for the dunk.
Tennessee got caught playing on the high side of the post. The dribble drive to the baseline was there. Hobson took advantage of it. Again, remember, Hobson's going to play with 3 fouls.
Ogilvy bumped on the post. 2 hands by Kenny Hall. That's an automatic foul.
Again, in the post, the dribble drive, there's no help because Ogilvy gets hung up on the high side on the post defense. Hobson recognizes there was a lane to the basket, took advantage of it.
Tinsley. Ogilvy there to help him out. In traffic, Ogilvy blocked. Vanderbilt keeps it. Hall got it from behind.
A.J. Ogilvy averaging 19 points a game in the SEC play, but A.J. Ogilvy has struggled against Tennessee the last 3 or 4 contests when these two teams have gotten together.
Overall, Tennessee's won 4 out of the last 5 meetings, including both last year. Vanderbilt's last win here in Knoxville was in 2005.
Set play off an inbound play. Vanderbilt gives Taylor a dribble drive opportunity on a set play.
Kenny Hall now has to sit with 4 personal fouls. So Woolridge will now have to come in and, at least for the moment, defend A.J. Ogilvy. Now they switch off with Chisholm on Ogilvy. But whoever's going to be playing that 4 and 5 spot now for Tennessee going to have some matchup issues.
Well, they do it again. Tinsley on the drive. He needs to be able to jump straight up and down, make a 2-foot jump stop. Chisholm does a nice job stepping over to take the charge. The question for Vanderbilt tonight, where is their scoring going to come from? If you think about Ogilvy not really getting an offensive groove, John Jenkins, the freshman, has not really got started offensively. Taylor with only 3 points. So Vanderbilt offensively has got to find opportunities to score.
Ogilvy bothers that shot by Prince. Scotty Hobson. Ogilvy boards it, tries to press it ahead. Beal nearly turns it over, and now Tinsley missing the 2. There's Jeffrey Taylor fouled, and that may be the answer about Vanderbilt scoring. Jeffrey Taylor. And that's number 4 on Scotty Hobson. As we look at our Star Watch update, A.J. Ogilvy only 3, while Scotty Hobson has 11, but now 4 personal fouls.
Well, and A.J. Ogilvy needs a big second half. He picked up his second foul with 7:48 left in the first half. Vanderbilt in the first 10 minutes went 7 for 10 from the field. The last 10 minutes of the first half went 4 for 15. And that was the majority of that time was Ogilvy was on the bench.
And yet Taylor misses the second free throw. Vanderbilt now from the free throw line is 9 of 15. Into Chisholm. Lost it out of bounds. It's off of Walker. So foul trouble here for Tennessee. Kenny Hall has 4, Scotty Hobson has 4.
Well, and Ronaldo Woolridge has struggled a little bit offensively here in the last few games. But he's going to have an opportunity to play in this half.
Tennessee continues to ask a lot out of Wayne Chisholm, who's playing on a bum knee. Nice give and go down to the baseline. Walker finishes it off.
Terrific execution on the pick and roll. Nice bounce pass. Good catch.
Chisholm for 3. Tinsley boards it. Ogilvy at the front of the break. Stops and finishes. Just the second made bucket for A.J. Ogilvy. This one comes in transition.
Vanderbilt looking to run. Trying to generate some offense with the break.
Meanwhile, Wayne Chisholm is 0 for 5 from the floor after his worst outing of the year Saturday at Georgia, 3 for 10. But again, dealing with a hobbled knee. As Prince is hobbled, and Doug Schaub's going to have to get in between J.P. Prince and Andre Walker. Prince was fouled and coming down on first glance appeared to throw an elbow. Again, that's on first glance. That's why Doug Schaub's got it between them.
It's called a technical as well. A little bit of contact.
So there's at least one T in there, and now Doug Schaub's going to get together with Jamie Lucky and Mark Whitehead to sort this out.
Sometimes coaches feel like officials can be quick with technicals. There's a little bit of contact and a little bit of bumping and jawing back and forth, and a lot of times it just takes an official to just calm everybody down quickly without calling a technical. Doug Schaub's obviously did and wants to watch it again on the replay. J.P. Prince going to his left, some contact. A.J. Ogilvy does a nice job, pats him on the back, says, "We got you, big guy."
So one of the situations where officials can go to the replay monitor is to try and determine if a punch was thrown, and that is what the question is on that play by J.P. Prince. So the foul was on Walker. That was after the whistle that whatever you call it occurred. J.P. Prince swinging the arm out. Now the question is for Doug Schaub and his crew, do you determine that this right there is a punch?
Well, it's his right hand. J.P. Prince's right hand kind of slaps across the face there of Andre Walker again. I think in games where there's some intensity, the best thing to do is settle everybody down. Obviously, we've already have one technical. But watch J.P. Prince's right hand at the end of the play. Right there on the face of Andre Walker.
Now,
and again, that is what our officials have seen. Doug Schaub, Jamie Lucky, Mark Whitehead, 3 experienced officials who've been calling some of the most difficult games in college basketball and difficult environments.
We don't know yet what the call is, and the technical foul has not been announced, but the definition of a flagrant foul is severe contact with an opponent or contact that is extreme in nature while the ball is live. That's the definition of a flagrant foul. Now, we do not, again, worth repeating, we do not know what the technical foul is. We don't know what the decision between the officials is.
With how J.P. Prince has played tonight, if you're Bruce Pearl, you do not need him thrown out of this game. Although, if you're an official and you watch that tape, he very easily can be ejected from this game. J.P. Prince has had a nice game. He has scored. He's defended. But again, sometimes your frustrations get the best of you. Looks like we'll have a double technical foul on both Walker and Prince. And what you can't see sometimes with the tape is what was said, what was heard by the official. Sometimes it's something that's said that entices an official as well to call a double technical foul.
So in a double technical foul situation, they essentially cancel each other out. A double technical foul occurs when opponents commit technical fouls against each other at approximately the same time.
Now Walker will pick up the foul, Carter, for the initial foul on the penetration while Prince was driving.
And here's Doug Schaub to explain it to us.
We have double technical fouls. Walker assessed 1. which is an
Doug
additional
Chow's coming over
personal
to explain
foul.
it to us, and exactly as we were
Assessed
discussing,
a
Mark. There
technical.
is a foul
Also-
to begin that on Walker, so that's going to send J.P. Prince a correction. Not a bonus situation yet. It'll be baseline inbounds. Essentially, those double technical fouls offset each other. They do go as personal fouls, one against J.P. Prince and another foul on Walker, meaning that he now has 3 personal fouls. He gets 2 fouls on the play.
Well, and more than anything, what you want is for all the student athletes to have a little bit of poise right now, settle down and play basketball and compete. That's really the goal here, is sometimes emotions run high.
Mays will come off the screen from Wayne Chisholm, who does not have a made field goal in this game. So can Tennessee, who's already playing short-handed, now fight through an off night from Wayne Chisholm? Foul trouble. J.P. Prince says, just keep giving me the ball. Knocks down the triple, 16 in the game for Prince. Ball's back on top.
And 2 3-point baskets by Prince after making only 1 the entire season.
Ogilvy misses again. Other than Scotty Hobson, none of the Volunteers had hit a 3 in the last 2 games. Now they're going down. Tennessee's doing it again, up 3. Welcome back to Rocky Top, Tennessee. Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville, Tennessee. Carter Blackburn with Mark Gottfried and our embedded student reporter on ESPNU Campus Connection Week, Darren Stoltzfus. Let's revisit the play where J.P. Prince.
Well,
What's the explanation you got, Mark?
number 1 here, it looks like his right hand throws a punch right there to the face. The officials determined that the defender was actually pulling his arm, and it was really more just a basketball play. So again, that is not determined to punch. J.P. Prince is good to go. Very fortunate, in my opinion.
What Jamie Lucky said in their viewing of the same replays that we saw is that arm extending out. Well, Prince extending the arm again. Now he will get teed for hanging on the rim.
And this is the right call, Carter. Again, I think J.P. Prince right now, he's playing with a lot of emotion. He's excited. He's playing well. But the double chin up on the rim will cost you a technical.
And 2 of the officials called a technical foul that time on J.P. Prince, so that means that Jermaine Beal goes to the line for 2.
To make sure the difference in college basketball, the technical foul before was added as a personal foul. A technical foul when you hang on the rim is not a personal foul. So that does not add to J.P. Prince's foul totals.
That is in the rule book, an indirect technical foul is what that's called on J.P. Prince.
This is a very important possession for Vanderbilt.
And they don't score. And a foul.
So many times when the game becomes emotional, officials do a nice job of cleaning it up quickly. A lot of contact that they might normally let go at this point in the game. Sharpen it up, blow the whistles, and make sure that everything stays under control.
So Tennessee playing with foul trouble on Kenny Hall and on Scotty Hobson. J.P. Prince is on the bench. They're already playing with the short deck. Brian Williams still not on the team. Tyler Smith dismissed for the year. We've hardly mentioned Melvin Goins and Cameron Tatum, who again aren't playing significant minutes. Now it's Tatum on the floor, and there is Cameron Tatum. So Prince going to the bench, puts Tatum in the game, and like has happened for Tennessee all season long, especially in the past month, another player stepping up. This time it's Cameron Tatum with a big 2.
Vanderbilt needs some points, and they need them from a lot of different places. John Jenkins is one answer on the perimeter. Vanderbilt going inside on that possession.
Festus Ezeli answers with 2. McBee. That's the first made 3 for Skylar McBee since late in the upset of Kansas.
Skylar McBee likes that side of the floor, the same place where he knocked a shot down at the end of the Kansas game. Critical stretch for Vanderbilt.
Beal answers with 2. And now Kevin Stallings takes a timeout. Beal gets the 2 to pull Vanderbilt within 4. Vanderbilt got the last bucket before the timeout, but it's Tennessee up by 4. Skylar McBee, the hero of the upset win over Kansas, knocking down another big shot. Darren Stoltzfus was calling for it.
Let's go, ball! Give it to him, give it to him, give it to him! Give me 3. That's Skylar McBee. He's money. Oh, he's money. He's money. Let's go. Let's go.
Skylar McBee hit the biggest shot of the year for Tennessee. Darren, I'm wondering what campus was like when Tennessee knocked off top-ranked Kansas. Perhaps we will hear. McBee misses the 3 this time down. Vanderbilt's going to get it back after the air ball. And by the way, I think I said that was the first 3 for Skylar McBee. Let me correct myself. That is the 3rd 3 since the Kansas game, but he was all of 2 for 15 from 3-point. Prior to that, made bucket from McBee. Jenkins trying to answer. Chisholm comes away with it in travel. Vandy gets it back. Coming up when we're done with Vanderbilt versus Tennessee, it's the Red Raiders of Texas Tech taking on the Texas Longhorns, now number 6. Texas back in action for the first time since they lost twice as the number 1 team. That's coming up next on ESPNU and ESPNU HD, all part of ESPNU Campus Connection Week.
Vanderbilt needs some offense.
McBee steals it. Skylar McBee.
Tennessee again, their ability to get deflections, steals, turn them into fast break opportunities. Vanderbilt out of sync offensively. Tennessee's defensive intensity has risen. Vanderbilt's offensive execution is struggling.
At Thompson Bowling Arena, where Tennessee is 10-0 on the season, a place that Vanderbilt has not won since 2005. McBee nearly turns it over. Foul on Beal, bumping McBee in the backcourt.
Skylar McBee did a nice job after the ball was deflected to shield the ball with his body. It gets deflected, but Skylar McBee keeps his body in the path of Jermaine Beal, where he doesn't allow him to get there, and Beal ends up with the foul. But you know, when you watch Tennessee, Carter, whether it's Josh Bone knocking down 2 threes against Ole Miss, J.P. Prince knocking down 2 threes tonight, different players have stepped up at different times for this Tennessee team and made big offensive baskets for Bruce Pearl's squad.
That foul's on Tatum. Woolridge versus Kansas, McBee versus Kansas. Really is amazing. I mean, even down to 6 scholarship players taking on number 1 Kansas. But that Tennessee team was able to not only beat Kansas, but get off to a 3-0 start in SEC. And again, they're playing against number 14 Vanderbilt right now, up by 6. Still playing with walk-ons.
I like, again, Vanderbilt's going inside to Ogilvy. Kevin Stallings trying to find some ways to get Ogilvy started. Sometimes that player that is your scorer needs some offense run to him to get him started, get him in a flow, get him in a rhythm.
Only 2 made field goals for A.J. Ogilvy tonight, the junior from Sydney, Australia, who is averaging 19 a game in the 4 previous SEC games. Here we are at Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville, Tennessee, part of ESPNU Campus Connection Week. Carter Blackwood with Mark Gottfried, our embedded campus reporter, Darren Stoltzfus. For the intrastate rivalry, Vanderbilt versus Tennessee, the 176th meeting on the hardwood, dating back to 1921. Every year but the war years, where it was put on hiatus in 44 and 45.
Tennessee wants to go inside the Chisholm, basically with 4 guards in the game, 4 out, around 1 post player.
Stephen Pearl swatted out by Andre Walker, leading to the run out for Vanderbilt. McBee strips it away from Walker, who recovers and then gets fouled.
Andre Walker did a nice job keeping his pivot foot down on the ground. The home crowd doesn't like it.
Arakas Rocky Top. We'll check in with Lowell next.
And the coach.
Lowell, we all know that the polls don't matter for much in January, but this is the Big East teams in the poll right now. That does matter for seeding in the NCAA tournament come March.
There's no question, and I think those are 6 teams that, barring some type of a disaster, will be all sitting with great seeds in the NCAA tournament.
And you see Vanderbilt and Tennessee as tournament teams as well.
Without question. Kevin Stallings has done a magnificent job. This potentially could be one of his better teams that he's ever had at Vanderbilt. They're struggling a little bit offensively tonight, but I like this Vanderbilt team as far as all the different weapons they have offensively.
Now, speaking of the Big East, we begin our doubleheader tomorrow night, 7 Eastern. St. John's taking on 17th ranked Pitt. Then the SEC on ESPN, a matchup in the West. Ole Miss versus Auburn at 9 Eastern, all part of ESPNU Campus Connection Week on ESPNU and ESPNU HD Thursday.
4th personal foul, Jeffrey Taylor. 11:45, a lot of time left. Kevin Stallings will try to milk as much time as he can without the game getting away from him. Obviously, if he can survive 5-6 minutes without playing a player with 4 fouls, he will. But again, as a coach, those are things you start to get a feel for with your team. Can a player play with foul troubles? Can he play with 3 or 4?
And now the officials are going to head back to the video monitor. This one, I have no idea what they're looking at, Mark.
They could potentially be making sure who committed this particular foul. Again, I think the officiating crew, one thing as a coach, you always want to make sure it's right. Foul on Jeffrey Taylor. Not a lot of contact there. But Taylor ends up with his 4th.
And the question was who the shooter was going to be. I think that was the question, because now a bonus situation where Vanderbilt has 17 fouls, Tennessee has 18 fouls, which means that both teams are in the bonus from here on out.
J.P. Prince, season high 19, 20 points now. Boy, as he stepped up tonight and answered the call for Bruce Pearl's Tennessee Volunteers.
He has volunteered for the role tonight with Wayne Chisholm banged up.
Tennessee switching again. Everybody switching on the perimeter outside of Chisholm. On Ogilvy.
Beal cans the triple. Big 3 for Jermaine Beal. He has 14 to lead all Vanderbilt scores.
Big shot by the senior on the road.
Second made 3 of the game for Beal. Vanderbilt has 4 made 3s. On a night where A.J. Ogilvy, their leading scorer, only 7 points on 2 field goals late into the game now.
Vanderbilt switching defenses, going to the zone.
Chisholm takes it right at A.J. Ogilvy for the first made bucket of the game for Wayne Chisholm.
And the pass from J.P. Prince to recognize the ability to get the ball inside versus the zone.
Ogilvy fouled by J.P. Prince. That's 4 on J.P. Prince to go along with 4 on Hall, 4 on Hobson.
That's where a technical foul comes back to haunt you, because those fouls add up. J.P. Prince right now in a tough situation, but again, Vanderbilt went zone. Tennessee went right inside, took the ball right to the basket.
Let me make a correction on J.P. Prince. That was his 3rd. So one of the markers had personal foul on the 2nd one, but obviously we determined that is not a personal foul on J.P. Prince. So 3 fouls on J.P. Prince, 4 on Kenny Hall, 4 on Scotty Hobson. Neither Hall or Hobson is on the floor right now. Wayne Chisholm's made only 1 basket in this game, and yet somehow Tennessee is up by 3.
Well, again, if you're Vanderbilt, you're going zone to keep the ball out of the paint.
Run out chance here for Jenkins. Commodores within a point.
Tennessee has to make sure on any turnovers they have rotation, and we got a defensive safety always protecting the basket. But Vanderbilt, again, their intent now is to keep the ball out of the paint. If you're Tennessee, you still want the ball in the orange.
Pearl blocked by Ogilvy. Prince runs it down. 2nd chance for the Vols. Chisholm runs it down this time. Wayne Chisholm with a dribble drill. Fouled from behind.
Vanderbilt had secured a defensive rebound, and again, J.P. Prince was able to get it deflected, get the ball back. Now Chisholm on the drive. Wayne Chisholm looking healthy after sitting out the majority of the game at Georgia.
Spent a lot of time with the trainer, Chad Newman, the last couple of days trying to get that knee ready to go. Again, he sat out almost all of that 2nd half at Georgia. Tennessee's first SEC loss Saturday. Trey Tompkins took full advantage of Chisholm's absence, 21 points in that game. Ogilvy goes at Chisholm, blocked by Chisholm. Ogilvy recovers, sticking with it.
A.J. Ogilvy persistent. Staying with the play. Vanderbilt quietly has taken the lead.
First lead of the 2nd half for Vanderbilt. McBee.
Terrific box out by Brad Tinsley on the weak side. You always want your weak side guys in your zone. Be good block out guys. Make sure that there's not a weak side rebound.
McBee right there with Jenkins on the catch. Into Ogilvy on the post. Goes to the left, and now another foul against Andre Walker. His 4th. Facebook question of the night: who is the best 1-loss team in the country? Log on to Facebook.com, search ESPNU, and answer who is the best 1-loss team in the country now that Kentucky has joined that group, which includes, among others, Syracuse, Kansas, Villanova, and BYU. BYU lost at Utah State. Syracuse lost at home. That's the only team in that 1-loss group that has lost a home game.
But I still like Syracuse. I think Kentucky still is the best 1-loss team in the country, but Syracuse awfully good. All those teams are teams that have the potential to make deep runs into the NCAA tournament, including BYU.
Season. Oh, you gotta love it. Thank you, Stephen Pearl. Thank you, Stephen Pearl. Stephen Pearl towing the line, shooting, firing. Oh, he just missed it. That makes him 2 of 11, I believe, on the season. Not so good. Not so good. Hey, when your coach is a son, it doesn't quite matter much, does it?
I got to check on that one, Darryl, about the free throw shooting. That's a good number for Stephen Pearl. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt gets an answer on the other end.
Vanderbilt is finding their rhythm, finding that groove offensively. It was Ogilvy inside, Tinsley hitting the 3, Beal hitting the 3.
McBee tries another one, misses another one. Azili boards.
Tennessee needs the ball to go inside first, then back outside. Those shots will be a little bit more open.
McBee fouls Beal. Bonus situation. Beal will head to the free throw line. McBee, one of those players who has stepped up since the New Year's Eve / New Year's Day early morning incident, and a lot of guys playing a lot more minutes, most notably Pearl, Bowen, Woolridge, and Kenny Hall.
Well, and Bruce Pearl has gotten great play out of all those guys. And again, with their team changing its complete complexion with Tyler Smith gone and 2 players missing 4 games, Brian Williams still on suspension. But Tyler Smith was a matchup problem for everybody. Changes the way you have to defend Tennessee and changes the way Tennessee defends others. It moves people onto different players on the floor. But you know, Carter, in this last couple minutes, Vanderbilt has just been steady, quietly finding their rhythm offensively. 2 starters in foul trouble, both Taylor and Walker with 4. Ogilvie on the bench. Whether it was Beal, Tinsley, Jenkins, guys have stepped up for Vanderbilt here, and quietly they have found their groove here in this second half.
A 10-1 run by Vanderbilt to take a 5-point lead. Tennessee tries Prince again, and he creates for Bobby Mays.
Nice jump shot by Bobby Mays, created off of great penetration by J.P. Prince. And again, that time Tennessee had some penetration that went inside, created an opportunity for an open jump shot.
Jenkins hits the 3.
Well, I watched him today in shoot around, Carter. His balls rarely even touch the net. He's one of those shooters. When he shoots it, the ball just sits softly in the net. That time it actually touched the rim. That's like a miss for him when it touches the rim.
He's nearly 50% from 3-point.
Skylar McBee is aggressive, but again, if the ball will go inside first rather than just around the perimeter, Tennessee will end up with a much better look.
ESPNU Campus Connection Week continues. We'll visit with Darren when we come back to Knoxville.
Come on, Balls. We need this one. We need this one. Coming back, baby. We're coming back. Let's go, Balls. Let's go. Hi, Mom. I'm on TV. Everybody loves an underdog, and especially around here, everybody always loves UT and the Big Orange. It's a foul! It's a foul! On top, you'll always be home, sweet home to me. That's a charge! That's a charge! Come on! Give it to him! Give it to Give me 3. That's Skylar McBee. He's money! Oh, he's money! He's money! Oh! Toss! Oh! Yeah! Woo! Come on!
It is ESPNU Campus Connection Week for Knoxville, Tennessee. Darren Stoltzfus right there in the middle of the Rocky Top route. Darren, I heard you give a little Rocky Top earlier. How many times in your Tennessee career you think you've sung Rocky Top?
I can't even count the times that I've sung Rocky Top. Didn't know the words when I got here. Now I will never forget the words. You can't describe. You think it's bad here in Thompson Bowling? Wait till you walk into Neyland Stadium and you hear it 75, 100 times. It's awesome. I love it. You can't hate on Rocky Top.
I wonder if some of the Tennessee opponents would agree with you. Home, sweet home to me, Rocky Top. Well, a Tennessee team who has not been beaten on their home floor here on Rocky Top this year trails by 6. The mark that Vanderbilt offense that was missing for the first 10 minutes of this second half has really picked up in the last few minutes.
Tennessee has now extended their defense. Vanderbilt looks for opportunities to get to the rim. J.P. Prince is going to smother John Jenkins, not allow him to get a clean look on the perimeter.
Hall and Hobson both back on the floor playing with 4 personal fouls. Block inside leads to the break. Prince off the glass, and J.P. Prince continues an incredible night with 22. That is 1 off of his career high, already a season high for the senior out of Memphis.
J.P. Prince has been spectacular tonight.
Gene Gain gets a tough 2.
I like the fact that Vanderbilt is scoring with Ogilvie, Walker, and Taylor all on the bench. 3 starters on the bench. Really 4. Tinsley as well. And Vanderbilt has continued to score. Once they got in that offensive groove, they're going inside, hitting shots outside. Tennessee here against the zone again. Look for them to go inside, then outside.
Woolridge tries a three and misses. So the score, Vanderbilt 66, Tennessee 60. 5:40 to go. Beal floater goes, and it's an 8-point lead for Vanderbilt, the largest lead of the night for the Commodores.
Senior Jermaine Beal.
Azili boards, and the 5 on the floor right now for the Commodores are getting it done.
Well, you've got a senior point guard, Jermaine Beal, getting it done for the Volunteers. Excuse me, for the Commodores.
And he gives it to the Volunteers after that made three. This is the 4th time in his career that he's been on this floor. He's never won. And now the senior for Vanderbilt is doing his part to make sure the Doors walk out of Knoxville with a win.
Again, talking to Kevin Stallings this morning, Jermaine Beal is a quiet leader. Steps up, makes big plays. He's not a real vocal leader, but a guy that's just there every day getting it done.
Let's check out his ESPNU Campus Connection player profile. Jermaine Beal, the senior from DeSoto, Texas. Now, I like the favorite movie, Enter the Dragon. Yes, the 1970s Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon. So,
how about the nickname Dalla? Last name Beal. Dalla Beal.
Dalla Beal. Mark, you figured that one out all by yourself. Those are some of the photos that Jermaine shared with us for his ESPNU Campus Connection profile, including a trip to the Great Wall of China. 21 points, 14 in the second half for Jermaine Beal. And again, he says, when you get to this point, everybody knows everybody in an intra-state, intra-league rivalry like this. So it did not escape Jermaine Beal that they have lost 4 of their last 5 against Tennessee, that they had not won on this floor during his tenure with Vanderbilt. A lot of pride taken there, and it's showing up here late in the game.
Critical mistake by Tennessee. It's a tough pass to catch on an inbounds play. Pass hit him right in the shin. Ball goes back out of bounds. So Kevin Stallings, now you want to execute your offense. Obviously, if you continue to score, wide open shot.
How can he be that wide open?
I think Tennessee, Bobby Mays went to trap. Left Beal and went to trap. Nobody rotated. A little bit of confusion on the part of the Tennessee Volunteers.
10-0 run. Vandy's up by a couple of touchdowns. Mays answers with 2 to make it 74-62.
At this point now, it's about pace. Pace of the game. Vanderbilt with 74 points. They're not in a hurry. Tennessee's going to try to trap. Get Tennessee's strength is to get steals, deflections.
Now they're hounding Beal defensively, so that creates space. Taylor with the shot clock winding down. Fouled as Chisholm came away with it. Well, Wayne Chisholm has had a very slow offensive night. Only 3 made field goals, but he's getting the rebounds done. That's now 14 rebounds.
Nice defense by Tennessee. Active hands. They're everywhere. Great position by Chisholm.
Give Chisholm a block shot there to go along with his 14 rebounds. So only 1 made shot in this game. Wayne Chisholm 3 points, but 14 rebounds and a block shot there on a critical possession.
You know, sometimes when you have the situation that Tennessee did a few weeks ago, losing players, there's an emotional kind of a bond that's built with your team, and there's a rallying point. And it proved to help them here against Kansas. Down in the first half big to Auburn. Ole Miss played very well in here, and Tennessee came out and won all those games. And the question now is can that continue? This is a shorthanded team.
Chisholm frustrated with his free throw miss. Only 2 for 6 from the free throw line tonight. So Chisholm only 1 made field goal, 2 for 6 free throws.
Tennessee wants to get in the passing lanes, extend their defense.
Another block for Chisholm. That's back-to-back block shots by Wayne Chisholm. he's taken out his frustration on the basketball on the defensive end. Well, here in Knoxville, Tennessee, we're on Rocky Top, Thompson Bowling Arena, ESPNU's Campus Connection Week. Carter Blackburn with Mark Gottfried and our ESPNU Campus Connection reporter, Darren Stoltzfus. Kevin Stallings' team had trouble offensively really through the first 30 minutes of this basketball game, but closing well until that turnover.
Again, Vanderbilt has done such a great job of handling the basketball, Carter. They had 8 turnovers at the half. They only had 4 until this last turnover. Now that's 5, gives them 13 for the game. Vanderbilt's ability to handle the pressure without turning the basketball over has been a key part of this game for Vanderbilt.
Off the miss into Chisholm. Just the second made bucket of the game for the senior, Jackson, Tennessee, all over Central.
Andre Walker with 4 fouls, let him go, gave him the basket.
Ball fans not giving up hope, down by 9. Cutting Taylor stretches the lead to 11 again.
Excellent possession, poise, patience. Good ball movement, nice cut to the basket.
Hobson, big 3 with Tinsley's hand right in his face.
Scotty Hobson with a big one. Tennessee has done that time and time again, where there has been different players step up and make big shots and give deflections and steals.
Brent steals it. Hobson in the lane, swatted out. Jeffrey Taylor gets the block.
Kevin Stallings taking Jeffrey Taylor out. When you've got 4 fouls, you want your players to stay aggressive. Obviously, you can't have a defender on the floor that will give up baskets, not intentionally, but try to protect that foul situation. Kevin Stallings wants some guys that he feels like can help him get a defensive stop.
What a mistake by Scotty Hobson. He stepped out of bounds on that inbounds pass. When we're done here, we'll send you to Texas versus Texas Tech.
Here comes the heat. Tennessee's putting some full court pressure. Vanderbilt has got to be able to get the ball inbounds first. Hard cuts, V cuts we call them, where you go in one direction, change your direction, cut hard in the opposite direction.
Hobson was wide open in the corner too. If he catches that basketball, stays in bounds, he has a good shot for another critical 3. But
it's amazing how many times Tennessee, with their pressure, can get deflections, steals, and make it very hard. Tennessee has nobody back deep.
This is a situation Vanderbilt worked on extensively today during shoot-around.
Vanderbilt handles the full court pressure now. Tennessee wants to speed Vanderbilt up. Vanderbilt wants to have patience with their offense. On every trip, Carter, this late in the game, what you want is one of 3 things. You want to score, you want to get fouled. At the minimum, you want to come out with a great shot.
There's the foul with 5 seconds on the shot clock. So Vanderbilt able to use 30 seconds and get fouled, getting to the line for a double bonus. So 3 timeouts remaining for each side. Both teams are in the double bonus. Scotty Hobson is just fouled out of the game. Fouls out with 14 points.
Both coaches have dealt with foul issues all night long with key players.
And Vanderbilt plays at #1 Kentucky on Saturday. The last 2 times that Vanderbilt has faced the #1 team in the country, they have defeated the #1 team in the country. They did it versus Tennessee in Nashville in 2008 when Tennessee beat Memphis to get to #1. And the year prior versus Florida when the Gators were ranked #1. So last 2 times that Vanderbilt has faced the top-ranked team in the country be #1. Obviously Kentucky losing last night, but Monday is the new poll. So Kentucky will still be #1 on Saturday.
Got a little jawing going on. Andre Walker. Wayne Chisholm doing a little bit of jawing. Kevin Stallings says, knock it off. Let's play basketball. We can't afford anything like that.
Well, you have to like that from Kevin Stallings. I mean, telling his guys, no matter what happens down the stretch, don't get drawn into anything bad. Just close out this basketball game.
Well, there's a lot of basketball left. A minute 51, a lot of things can happen.
There've been
Vanderbilt back in the zone. A lot of times what the zone defense will do to you late in the game or do the opponent, it forces Tennessee to take a little bit of time off the clock.
another block, this one from Walker, the 6th in the game for the Commodores.
Again, if you're Vanderbilt against the zone, that high post area or the short corners, we call them, those are the areas that you want to attack, and then from there you can get good shots on the perimeter.
Hall stick back off the McBee miss. Vanderbilt gets it inbounds before Tennessee can set up.
Tennessee has to make a decision, down 8 with 1:22 to go. Do we foul? They're not going to foul.
And a layup for Ogilvy.
Tennessee wants to push it quick, see what they could create. Now Bruce Pearl calls timeout.
Hall dunks, Tennessee timeout. Bruce Pearl has not lost to Vanderbilt here on his home floor. But right now it's an 8-point game for Vanderbilt on Tennessee. And Darren, we want to thank you for joining us tonight. Darren Stoltzfus.
Thanks for having me, man. It was awesome. Anytime. Just every game, we'll do this. Every game.
Hey, Darren, we just got to be honest, though. You didn't have to skip class or anything today. You did your due diligence in school today, correct?
Well, I may have gone to all my classes and not stayed for the entire length of it. I'm a senior, guys. I mean, class is overrated. What can I say? I don't go to Vanderbilt. Well, classes are a lot cheaper here.
Darren, you're a senior journalism and electronic media major. You graduate in May. We understand it's your dream to work for a sports network. So on behalf of all of us at ESPN and the ESPN family of networks, we want to say, get a credit card with a low interest rate, because you're gonna have to pay the bills somehow.
Well, you don't make much, but at least, hey, doing stuff like this, not going to work a day in your life.
It ain't working. Let me tell you, I'm still getting college credit myself.
There you go.
Thanks, Darren. We appreciate it.
Tennessee with nobody back. They brought all 5 guys up to deny. Vanderbilt recognized it quickly, took advantage of it for a long home run pass.
When we're done at this UT, the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, we're going to send you to what they say around here is the other UT, University of Texas versus Texas Tech.
See on this dribble drive to the basket, Wayne Chisholm going hard to the rim. A.J. Ogilvy wanted to charge.
Well, there have been some minor miracles already in this Tennessee season, especially since the New Year's Eve, New Year's Day incident where 4 Tennessee basketball players were pulled over. And that court case is still pending for Tyler Smith, but he has been dismissed from the basketball team. But this, Mark, I mean, 8-point game, 51 seconds left. This would top them all if Tennessee's able to pull this rabbit out of the hat.
Well, and they've had some different players step up and make huge shots. Ole Miss, I mentioned before, came in. Chisholm hits 2 big threes in that game. Josh Bone, who's only made 4 on the year, stepped up and made 2 in that particular game. So Skylar McBee with the big 3 against Kansas, and Bruce Pearl has done a magnificent job, in my opinion, of kind of rallying the troops.
Off to a 3-0 start. They lost Saturday at Georgia, and now on the verge of losing to their rival from Nashville, the Vanderbilt Commodores. And a reminder, as soon as we're done here in Knoxville, we'll send you down to Austin for Texas versus Texas Tech. They have just tipped down there in Austin, and we'll get you there as soon as possible. And it doesn't get any easier for the Tennessee Volunteers. There's a basket by Bobby Mays to make it an 8-point game, but doesn't get much easier for Tennessee.
Well, Florida comes to Tennessee next, and they have to go on the road to an LSU team that has shown promise, just hasn't been able to get over the hump and get that first win yet in the league.
How about 2 weeks from now for Tennessee when they go to Vanderbilt on February 9th, and then 4 days later at Kentucky.
SEC basketball at its finest. And again, we watched Kentucky last night lose, and it's a difficult league to go on the road and win. And Kentucky learned it last night. Vanderbilt comes in here today. Looks like they're going to have a huge win.
I think Bruce Pearl might arrange another phone call from President Obama to John Calipari on the day of that Tennessee-Kentucky game.
I imagine Kentucky be a little grumpy, ready to play against Vanderbilt this weekend.
Five players in double figures for Vanderbilt. Jermaine Beal, the senior, with 24, 17 in the second half. And for the first time since 2005, Vanderbilt wins in Knoxville. It's 85-76 the final as Vanderbilt goes to 5-0 in SEC play, remaining atop the SEC East. For Mark Gottfried and our entire ESPNU crew, I'm Carter Blackburn. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Vanderbilt wins it over Tennessee, 85-76. Now let's join Dan McLaughlin and Tim Welch in Austin.